Hello! Welcome to the first episode of Bubble Talk. Just a quick intro before we get into the topic of the day. I wanted to do something different during my speed builds. For my speed build videos, I plan to talk about a topic or event just to teach something new to you from doing deep dives into specific topics. Today's topic is a little different, but for each episode, we will have a different topic to learn while watching one of my speed builds in the background. I hope you all enjoy learning something new like I do. Let me know in the comments other topics that you might want to hear about in the future episodes. Religion and politics topics will not be discussed as they can be somewhat controversial, and I'm not trying to see any arguing or drama llamas in the comments. All right, let's pop the bubble into Bubble Talk. I have been on the search for discovering my own personal mantra. I suffer from hypothyroidism, anxiety, mild depression, which basically means my hormones in my body are always fighting against me or causing me weird thoughts, dreams, feelings, all that. It's a wonderful little whirlwind of a journey day to day. Sarcasm? Absolutely. It sucks donkey balls. Having a stressful full-time job and kids to run around for sports, plus overwhelming myself with side hobbies like photography and now video editing for YouTube. Thought for a while, if I just keep myself busy, I won't think about it. Busyness has not been a success. The overwhelming feeling of I just have to do something or I feel like I'm letting others down comes into my stupid, stressed out mind. And then the process just starts all over again. It's a never-ending cycle. Find more to do, become overwhelmed again. Okay, let's find some more to do, and let's get overwhelmed again. You get my drift here? My coworkers got me a You Are a Badass little desk calendars that have those motivational sentences for Christmas this past year. And I kept reading the little day-to-day little inspirational topics that they have each day. Except for the weekends, they, put them together. Now, one word kept coming up on different days. Mantra. So, I just took it as it's telling me to find my mantra, right? I know I'm supposed to be a smart one, but I kept thinking that mantra meant to find something to do that makes me happy. Hence the find something to do, keep myself busy, and, Well, write this one down because I don't say this often. I was wrong. Okay. Now it's on the internet forever. Unless I take the video down. No. It could be out there forever. Internet forever. Never able to fully get rid of something. Well, so I looked up mantra. And the actual definition of mantra, according to Google, is a statement or slogan repeated frequently. Okay. Now, there are two different ones, but I chose to follow the second definition because the first one talks about meditation, and meditation hasn't really helped me in the past. I kind of have a hard time shutting off my brain to fall asleep, let alone have enough peace and quiet to do some meditation to calm myself. I have a house full of kids anyway, hence why I'm doing this when everyone's asleep. So, a statement or slogan repeated frequently. My inspired little calendar might be onto something. It had a day that said, writing your mantra is all about coming up with specific words that counter your negative beliefs and that bring out positive, meaningful, exciting emotions. That part is key. Your mantra must really affect you in a deeply moving way, or else you'll find yourself saying just a bunch of annoying words over and over that don't really inspire you to go out and make the changes you need. Interesting, right? Well, I thought so. And, that's really what counts, because otherwise I wouldn't be doing this. What could my mantra be? I have a full-time job, a family, extra hobbies, a few friends that I occasionally talk to, not really a social person. Did I mention that I don't have much of a life outside of work and home? I probably should have mentioned that. Oh, and I'm stubborn. So there's that in my favor too. Well, I Googled again, popular mantras focused on stress and anxiety, just to see what was listed out there. Come across a few sites that have popular mantras, and they're things like, one day at a time. No. This is temporary. Nah. I got time. Definitely not. This too shall pass. Uh-huh. I am breathing in. I am breathing out. Okay, so that one just made me think of the blonde joke with the headphones on. I don't know if you've ever heard of that one, but you should Google it because I'm sure it's out there. So no, that one's definitely out too. Let it go. Nope. Just thought of Frozen. Can't do it. And then I am enough. Heck no, I'm confident already. I've got the confidence. I know I'm enough. So like all those popular mantras didn't really feel like my own mantra. It didn't spark that positive emotion and would feel quite annoying if I repeated it over and over. Oh, and kind of cliche. Just in my opinion. Don't judge me. It's my opinion. That's probably why they were on several common mantra lists in the first place, though. Not knocking them. They might work for some. Just not me. My mind would just smart back, saying, whatever. Keep telling yourself that. There were some other hard to pronounce phrases used commonly in Buddhism meditation practices, but hard pass. Except for Om. That one sounded pretty easy, but I don't think it would help me. Considering we just talked about how meditation and shutting off my brain, yeah, it doesn't mix. Okay, so I found a website that talked about meditation and observing the mind. Not sure I should be observing my weird twisted mind, but I found some interesting things mentioned. So it said, observe the mind with the mind. What the heck does that mean? Apparently it means use your mind to think analytically and logically when negative emotions of that same mind arise. Of course, it would be easier to push that easy button and change your negative thoughts. I don't think they've made one yet, though. Damn, one can dream. Observe the mind with the mind. Mindfulness, right? They have books on this for like weight loss, happiness, recovery programs for addictions, parenting, and I even found mindfulness for being a teen. I have 3 teens, so maybe I need to get me some of that. Don't worry. I still haven't forgotten about the search for my own mantra. It's still in progress at this point. Anyways, back to that mindfulness shit. I kept finding websites and resources that kept on telling me things like my thoughts weren't me and I wasn't the same as my thoughts. Observe your thoughts as if they're visitors coming and going. And I don't create each thought. What? Isn't that thought in my brain, in my skull, in my body? I think in my search, I just created way more confusion for me. And I still haven't found my mantra. At this point, I may have said some very unmindful words, almost shed a few tears of confusion, and close to giving up. Maybe I never will figure out how to find my best mantra. Site after site, book after book, I kept finding the same things. Don't identify with your thoughts. They are not your own. Sounds like an alien. Don't believe your thoughts. Thoughts are just stories. Meditate and feel everything around you to evaluate your thoughts. Give your mind a break from itself. Don't allow your thoughts to take over. Now, I have tried yoga, even hot yoga, which is pretty much yoga in a sauna, if you haven't heard of it. I do the yoga, relax while I'm doing it, and then 10 to 15 minutes after finishing, my tensions and thoughts and everything's back. Maybe I'm just not normal, okay? Okay, I'm not normal. I will admit this. Obviously, I mean, come on, I struggle at finding my own mantra. Does anyone else really have this kind of issue? Obviously, I'm not the only one who finds the confusion in observing and evaluating thoughts. The proof shows in the amount of articles and websites dedicated to explaining this, no matter what I type in the Google search, whether it's mindfulness or observe the mind with the mind or how to observe your thoughts. How do I make sense of this? Maybe I should make that my mantra. Not everyone knows how to observe thoughts. Nah. I think that's just more of a statement instead of the whole really affecting me in a deep moving way thing that badass calendar told me to do. I did find some funny questions in forums while searching for how to observe your thoughts and do the mindfulness thing. I have to discover some humorous things on the internet while Google searching, right? I mean, some forum had a title asking, "The moment I try to observe my thoughts, they are immediately silenced. Am I meditating the wrong way?" I kind of chuckled a little at this, only because of my lack of understanding this whole observing thoughts thing at this point. Just imagine someone meditating, candles lit, dark room, on a yoga mat, maybe some incense, and that little thought bubble pops up in their head, and Speedy Gonzales just zooms right by, taking that thought bubble with them before they can read it. And you just hear, "Andale, andale," and then vroom, poof, gone. Yeah, that might be why my thoughts might not be the smartest to observe, but how else am I going to end the search for my very own mantra? After many sidetracked links on the funny questions in forums, tangents, I needed to get back on track. Everything leads back to using meditation to examine your own thoughts. I think I've already mentioned that I have a hard time meditating. Still doesn't answer my question though. How do you observe your thoughts? If I don't know my thoughts, I can't evaluate my thoughts to find out what kind of mantra I need to get rid of those thoughts. Don't get me wrong. I have many thoughts that go through my mind, often like a sprint car race where you just have several at one time and then they just go round and round, kind of like Family Guy. There was an episode in Family Guy that talks about go in a circle. Anyways, tangent again. Yeah. I need to just try a different method because this method obviously isn't helping. Back to the Google. Next search, finding my mantra. Think this will help? I'm about to find out. The first link sounds kind of promising. Top 5 ways to find your mantra in some inspiration blog section in under30experiences.com or something. Well, I'm above 30. I wonder if that's going to make a difference. Let's try it anyway, I guess. So it defines a mantra. Done that. It says that we all have a quest for truth. Yeah, truth is good. This phrase sounds good. Setting your mantra can be seemingly unapproachable. Yeah, that's pretty accurate, considering what I've already been talking about for the past several minutes. Oh, sitting with your mantra can be uncomfortable. Now, are we talking like bad date where they drove uncomfortable, or just really have to pee and the next stop on the highway isn't for like 10 miles uncomfortable? Of course. It didn't say. It just stops there after that sentence and then moves on to, here are the 5 ways to find your unique mantra. If it's your mantra, why would it be uncomfortable, right? Anybody else thinking that in their head? But I'm a ding dong, so I'm going to keep reading this inspired blog for those under 30 while being over 30. Find another sentence that makes me laugh, those tangents, from the mental image in my strange mind. It's important to try new mantras on and see how they fit. Know where I'm going with this? If so, your mind is weird like mine. Congratulations! I kept picturing myself in a fitting room with like several random t-shirts that just say mantra on it. And I just kept going through. I'm like, nope, don't like this one. This one doesn't feel right. This one could be a little softer. Just tossing them off to the side like they don't fit. I thought this blog was tips for finding my unique mantra, not recycling from others to see what works. Done with this site. Next. By now, I'm getting impatient. After almost 8 hours of searching and trying to find something, I give up, and typing random mantra generator in my Google search is probably demonstrating this by now. Google, just tell me what my mantra is. I'm over it. I can't figure it out. How to evaluate my thoughts. I'm not trying to go shopping and try on a bunch of different mantras. Apparently, things aren't looking good for me at this point. However, I found an affirmation generator, which really just has a bunch of nice things in different colored screens, like the post-it notes on the mirrors and Pinterest boards. Not really what I'm looking for. I did click through to see what it had. It told me that I was a ray of sunshine, so that was nice. That random generator doesn't seem to know me very well. By the way, I will link the affirmation generator in the description below if you want to check it out. Okay, so random mantra generator. That search wasn't helpful. It was fun, but it wasn't helpful. Back to finding my mantra. Did you know that there are benefits to chanting mantras? Well, I mean, of course I did, but brain benefits and stuff outside of mental health. I found a website that had some interesting facts about the benefits of chanting mantras. If only I had one yet. But it said, reciting mantras presses your tongue against your roof of the mouth, which has pathways where this action invigorates the pituitary glands, the thalamus, and the hypothalamus. Those are the brain parts that can make you happy. And then this site also said vibrations from chanting mantras spread hormones and chemicals to the brain and body to balance the biological system and contribute to healing. Who knew? And then also, it releases pent-up emotions. Obviously, that probably helps. And it also helps with concentration. It directs your attention to the important stuff and particularly useful for people who find it difficult to meditate because their thoughts run amok during sessions. What? That's me. Okay, now I really need to find a mantra for myself. Mental and physical health benefits, that's a bonus right there. So I am over 9 to 10 hours into my Google search and still no further than when I started. It's like a TikTok or a YouTube rabbit hole by now. The more I search, the more tangents I find. Shockingly, I don't have any attention deficit disorders, or it might have been even more tangents during my search. What do I have so far? 1, I know the definition of mantra. 2, to find my mantra, I need to be mindful and meditate. 3, I have a difficult time meditating. 4, my thoughts are not mine. They just come from my brain, in my head, in my body. And 5, I need to observe my mind to discover my mind. Right. So basically, where I started, just with more confusions and a few laughs along the way. Now what? All right, YouTube might have something interesting. Ironic that I'm talking about using YouTube while on YouTube. Isn't it ironic? Don't you think? 90s babies should know where that came from. Apparently, there is a lot about mantras on YouTube. So down the rabbit hole I go again. I searched just mantra in the search field. I'm sorry, the band Bring Me the Horizon has a song called Mantra. Of course, that is my first click. Well, That was enjoyable after watching it, but not helping me find my mantra. I click the like button in the video, move on. All right, maybe I need to be a little more specific. Find my mantra goes in the search. After several unhelpful videos, there was a video posted 2 years ago on a channel that doesn't post much on mantras anymore. Mantras help to focus on a goal and positive thinking. Yes, we've established that by now, right? The method of creating her own mantra was via the ADMD method. Okay, we might be getting somewhere here. Walking down that yellow brick road to find the wizard now. The ADMD, it's so hard to say, method. An effective personal mantra is an affirmative statement in the present tense of something that you desire that is both measurable and declarative. I like that. That makes a little more sense to me now. Let's see. All right. Positive, affirmative statement. I am, I can, I will, I do, I have. Okay. And something I desire. Well, that's a long list. It has to be measurable and a declaration, though. So what do I do that can be measured? Or what do I desire that can be measured? Should I start a SMART goal worksheet for this? Nah, that's too much effort. Not like my many hours of searching took much effort or anything. I'm going to have to write out a list of my desires to see what can be measurable now. Not like materialistic desires, but something else. Now the list making begins. Oh, and the whole being real with myself might help with this. Desires. I guess to figure out those, I need to know what makes me stressed and anxious and doubtful and frustrated. Well, that list just became a little more complicated, right? Okay. I guess really I never looked into what causes that. Okay. Maybe that's what they're talking about when they say, observe your mind with your mind. Might be getting somewhere. Progress. I like it. Let's get to work. All right. Work through my desire list. Be more self-confident. Be myself. Have less doubt in my abilities. Enjoy the little accomplishments. Be happy and healthy. Learn something new often. That's what we're doing here. Connect with others better. Have my shit together. Wait, no one has their shit together. What am I thinking? But then, without thinking, I add to my list to feel less like I'm failing my coworkers, my family, and myself. That phrase, whenever I typed it, and yes, I literally did an Excel spreadsheet on this. But that phrase made me feel like I was one of those test dummies in the vehicle's safety testing when it hits a brick wall. Like, you got the crash and the test dummies going all over the place. It's like, bam, kind of hit you. Failure. Maybe that is what is really causing my stress and anxiety. I feel like a failure, even if I ain't failing. Finally getting somewhere. I don't have to put any more desires on my list. That's the answer, right there. So, how did it take so long to discover this? Well, now comes the task of putting this desire into a mantra for myself. What can I tell myself that will help positive thinking at times when I feel like I'm failing? What should I tell myself every day when the stress and anxiety and doubt make me feel overwhelmed? Okay, so let's see here. So I'm thinking, I am not a failure. No, that's not really going to help me. It's too generic. I no longer allow failure in my life. No. Failure could happen in life, so that does not really work because you can't avoid failure. Okay. I choose to ignore failure. I really shouldn't do that because, you can't really ignore failure. It really allows for learning opportunities. Am I ever going to figure out my personal mantra? Am I going to fail at this? No. Failure is unacceptable. Wait, that's it. I got it. Whenever I said that, failure is unacceptable, it hit me. So my personal mantra that I came up with is failure is inevitable. I will not allow failure to define myself. I welcome the challenges. And honestly, I think that is very powerful. It may not work for everybody, but maybe my search could help someone else in discovering their own personal mantra of what they can tell themselves to keep positive thinking. But yeah, I found it. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed our very first Bubble Talk. Check out my next episode for popping the next Bubble Talk. Don't forget to leave a comment if you want to hear any specific topics. I am contemplating. I've got a few ideas for my next one. So let's see what we got coming up next for my speed build Bubble Talk. But I will see you in the next episode. Cue the montage.